What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be messing with the valve cover some more to get ready for the catch can setup to be completed. I did get it welded. Cost me $53 with tax. Kind of steep, but you know, it is what it is. I can't weld it. I don't know anybody that can, so I ended up having to pay somebody, but it is what it is. So today, what I'd like to do is get this thing ready for paint and maybe even just prime this thing tonight, and then start sanding it and getting it ready for the single stage paint that I'm gonna shoot it. But I'll show you guys the weld job here. It looks pretty decent. I would say it's not like the best, but you know, valve covers are hard. They have lots of contaminants and stuff like that. So I'm sure that they did their best. And it is sealed. I believe they welded the inside for me and then they ground it flat. So that's pretty cool. We're looking good there. This thing's ready to go. It should bolt right up to my AN lines. I'll show you the way I'm gonna set this up here. So this guy's basically gonna screw in just like this, and we'll have this line coming off of the cover and going to the catch can back there. And then I still have to do the other one, but I just wanna see how far this threads in. I can know where to tape it off when I do paint it. So it looks like it's gonna thread just about all the way in. All right, so that's pretty nice. I can't wait, this is gonna look really cool. So yeah, got both of them in there and we are ready to go. So I think that I'm gonna grab some sandpaper and I'm just gonna try to blend these little areas right here, make sure this is as cleaned off as I want it. I think I might also want to get rid of this little post here, so I think I might just grind that off or something. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to get rid of this just because I don't need this vent going to the intake anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind that off, and I'm gonna get a plug for this one and a plug for that one. I decided not to have them weld it just because it was so expensive just to have the two bungs, and I didn't want to have them do this too. So I'll just figure out a rubber plug for those. But for right now, I'm just gonna grind it off, get this thing ready for paint, and then I'll show you guys the process that I'm gonna use to paint this thing. Also, did get these new wheels and tires I showed you in the last video, but I actually got them all on the car. I got some lug nuts that fit. So they're just some Koenigs. They're pretty cool. I like them, honestly. I got these tuner lug nuts that have the lug on the inside because they're a really small hole there, but they're the correct pattern for my lug spacing and everything. So it is a 17-inch wheel. So the old ones, these are 15s, the stock ones right here, and I'm done with those. These are the new guys here. I'm pretty pumped. I think they look pretty good. They're not like my ideal wheel, but they were pretty cheap, so I'm happy. The tire size, 205 45 R17, and so these tires are a little bit wider than the other ones, almost an inch wider, but they are a ½ inch smaller in overall height. So being a ½ inch smaller, it does give me a little bit better gear ratio, and now second is spinning pretty good. I thought it was spinning before, you know, back a while ago, but I just think that I didn't know what a turbo car felt like, climbing in the RPMs that hard. I thought I was spinning, but now I'm actually spinning, and I know what that feels like. It does wheel hop a bit. I tried to launch it, completely blew the tires off, so I gotta set the launch control a little lower. But I'll show you guys some of that stuff soon. For right now though, I'm gonna pull the car out of the garage just because I'm gonna be painting. I don't wanna get overspray all over mainly the windows. I don't really care about overspraying the paint because the paint's already trashed. But yeah, so I'm gonna pull this thing out and then we're gonna get started on that valve cover. I went over the valve cover just one more time with some 180 grit just to clean up some of the areas. it shined up a little bit more because I was hitting it coarser earlier. But yeah, it's looking pretty clean right now. So what I'm gonna do is wipe it down, and I'm actually gonna use just self-etching primer. I decided, I think that's probably the best thing for this bare aluminum. I think we need, even though there's like tons of, scratch marks everywhere, I think we need a self-etching primer. And then after maybe 2 or 3 coats of that, I think that I will mix the paint that I'm gonna spray this thing. I'm gonna try to get it all done tonight. And then that way I can, progress with this thing and maybe put the valve cover on tomorrow night or something like that, just so I can get the catch can running. But what I have here is some thinner. I'm gonna try to clean it with thinner, and we'll see if I can get any more grime off of it. And this is the paint that I'm gonna use on the activator for it. It's a single stage paint. That's the color right there. It's called Port Wine Red, so should look pretty cool. It's not necessarily gonna match anything, but oh well, doesn't have to. So should look pretty cool, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this thing off right now, and then blow it dry, and then start taping it off and hit it with some coats of self-etching primer. All right, so this thing's all cleaned up, and I'm gonna begin spraying my coats of primer, and we're gonna get right into this here and get this thing sprayed. I think I'm gonna tape up a few things, actually just these 2 guys right here, and then everything else, except maybe, yeah, I'll figure out something to do with the oil cap area there, but everything else is getting sprayed. I'm not really, yeah, I think we can spray the rest of it. So hopefully the primer sticks really good. We'll see. So we're looking at the end of the first coat here. Sorry I sound so funny, got my respirator on because there's no ventilation in here. I'm going to fire up the fan in the window in a sec, but hopefully you can understand me. But that first coat of primer is looking awesome. I think I'm just going to try to run out the can just on the top, on the most important area, see if I can get a nice wet second coat. And then we'll have minimal orange peel. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my single stage all set up to shoot here. But yeah, I'm really liking how this is coming out. I think it's going to look really awesome. Very, very smooth looking. I'm glad I sanded it all down. So I've got my color here, like I said, and my activator. I got the gun set up. I have a 1.3 millimeter tip in there, so it should get nice and fine for us. And I'm gonna have to go get my reducer, but this is 3 to 1 to 1, so 3 parts this, 1 part this, and 1 part reducer, which I'm gonna go get, and then we can mix this guy according to that. Here's 3 to 1 to 1 on my cup, and yeah, now you can see it. So yeah, we'll mix it in there, and I'm not gonna mix too much because it's just a valve cover, but yeah, I'll mix it up and I'll spray it. This looks fantastic after the second coat of primer here. It's looking really good. I think that our next coat is going to come out real nice. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the logo, whether I'm going to paint it white like I did last time, or I think it looks cool when people use a razor blade and scrape the letters off. So I could also do that, but then I would need to like clear it or something like that. So I don't know what I'm going to do just yet, but so far so good. I'm liking it. I'm going to go ahead and get my reducer and mix some paint. All right, guys. So I did like 2 more coats after the one that you saw, and I laid it down a lot wetter afterwards, and we got a really nice finish on here. Like, this is like, it looks like a car. I'm stoked. You know, you can get a pretty good finish with a rattle can, but this just goes to show you there's nothing like high, you know, HVLP gun and you know, some real single stage paint. I mean, this just looks incredible. I'm really pumped, and this could be wet sanded and buffed and probably look even better. You know, it would be color sanding since it's single stage, but I'm really happy with this. So I'm gonna definitely give this some time to dry. I laid it on really thick. We'll see if it's feeling dry after like an hour or 2, but I'm just gonna keep the garage airing out, and I got the heat going too, but get the fumes out of here, and then I'll try to bake it a little bit. We'll see if we can get it to dry, take the tape off, and yeah, this thing's pretty much ready to go. I'm pumped. It looks really good. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with the letters. I think I might just leave it all red, at least for now. It's best to scrape it off when the paint is like semi-hard, so I'll wait a little while. But yeah, I hope it stays this glossy. I'm really pumped. Hopefully you guys can tell how glossy it is. But yeah, paint gun for the win here. This thing looks sick. So I actually think that I'm going to wrap it up for tonight, just because I read the back of the can and it says the dry time is 16 to 24 hours. So I don't really want to mess this up because this job came out really awesome and I'm really stoked. So don't want to really mess it up, so I'm going to wait the correct amount of time before I go and try to put this thing on the car. So yeah, I'm really pumped with how it came out. I'll give you guys one more look. I did take the tape off the bunks here, and it looks really awesome. It's like really glossy, so I'm pumped, and I think it's gonna look sweet. But I'll try to put it on tomorrow, but I'll probably keep that in this video. But yeah, hopefully it looks good on camera because it looks amazing in person. All right, guys, so it's the following day, and I got the car pulled back into the garage. I did that last night. I threw this thing in the basement to dry. I did lay it down really thick, but it came out awesome. I'm still not sure if it's like 100% dry. I don't really think it is just yet, so I think I'm gonna have to keep waiting on this to dry, but I think in the meantime I can take apart the car and stuff like that, so I'll get it ready. I'm gonna have to make sure when I throw the gasket on here that I don't know, get this thing all nasty, because it's so beautiful. I don't know what the best way to go about it is. I would tape it, but I don't think it's ready for tape yet. I don't want to peel it off, so I'm gonna make sure it's dry. I'm impatient, so I'm gonna get started working on this stuff here. I also got some LED high beams, so these are gonna be good for when I'm doing pulls at night. I mean, you kind of need to be able to see far, because you end up going fast pretty quick, and you know, you need to know what's coming up, and these stock high beams are really dim, so we're gonna step it up a little bit. But yeah, so what I did think about is this hole and this other hole on this valve cover. These both need to be sealed by something on the new valve cover, because you know, I want my air to only come out of here and not out of this big hole or this little one where I cut that thing off. So I'm gonna have to get some kind of plug. I was looking it up, I couldn't really find much that looked like it was gonna do what I wanted. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to look into that, find some sort of plug. But what I realized is I actually can't run the car until I get those plugged, being that I took that baffle out. So now the oil that slings off of the cam and the rockers and everything is just gonna sling right out that hole. And this thing's probably gonna shoot way more oil out of the hole than it ever has. So I gotta get that plugged up. And you know, I don't wanna just like tape it or something, because I don't know, maybe I will. But for right now, I gotta get something going on so I can plug that up. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this apart. I'll probably throw it on a time lapse. All right, guys, so it is actually the following day. I didn't actually finish last night because I had a couple of different options to go. I made that plug, and I probably won't even show that clip, but I made a plug like this, and this is what I was gonna jam in there to seal it, but instead, my dad brought these home from work. He found them lying around. So this is a perfect plug that fits here. Probably gonna pop this back out from the bottom and put a little bit of Honda Bond right around it, and then pop it back in its spot. And then for this one right here, what I'm actually gonna do is tap this hole. And I should have done all this before I painted and everything, but oh well. So I have a tap here that should fit this perfectly. I was going the wrong way, just getting stuck on me. But this tap should fit perfectly, so I'm gonna take this and put some vice grips on this, and then I'm going to tap this hole, and then I have this bolt right here that I'm gonna paint nice black, and then I will thread it in there, tighten it from the bottom with vice grips. But yeah, this guy right here is gonna get tapped with this. So I'm gonna get something to tighten this up and make some threads here, and then we can plug that hole, and then this one will get plugged, and then we're set to throw this thing on tonight. Alright, so there's just a little shot of the Honda Bond in there, and that's going to definitely seal up pretty good. And you can see those threads from where I tapped it. So I'm going to go ahead and once the paint dries on my bolt here, I'll go ahead and put a little bit of Honda Bond on those threads, and I'll thread that in, and then probably do a little more Honda Bond in the back. But yeah, we are looking good. This thing's going to get real sealed up. I'm going to throw the gaskets back in. So I'm ready to put the Honda Bond. So I'm going to show you guys where I put it. I put one glob in right here. I'm not putting as much as it looks like. I'm just trying to make sure that I spread it out evenly. You want it to stick good. Yep, so in the corner back there, and in the corner up here, and then the same thing on this side. Just right in the corner like that. Make sure that it's sticking. Well, you don't want to do too much, but and that should do it. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw the valve cover on, and this thing should seal good. Alright guys, so I finally did get these lines on, and you saw me throw the valve cover on. It looks really good, real shiny. Those plug wires that I cleaned look awesome. Yeah, really looks good. It's like a show car. I can't wait to you know, drive this thing around again. It's been a few days, but those lines are looking good. I did make that other one, ended up being a 45, and I think I have it spaced away enough from the downpipe and the actual wastegate and everything, or the wastegate dump rather, that I won't have any issues burning. One line went under and one line went over the coolant hose there, but they run back here, not touching the linkage or anything, and then they go over into my vented catch can. There is a drain on the bottom of the catch can. I think I snugged that up prior. But hopefully we don't get any oil coming out, because that's not the idea here. I just want to vent the crankcase vapors, and we did have an excess amount of crankcase vapor, and I don't want it to spray all over the underside of my hood. So I think we'll be good to go with that. This is just going to keep the engine bay clean and make sure that we can get rid of any crankcase pressure that we need to get rid of. So that being said, I think this is going to bring this one to a close. So I want to thank you all for watching, and if you like the video, throw a like and stay tuned. Subscribe to see some more videos like this, and definitely going to be posting some more content soon. I got a lot of things in the works for this car. Here's my list over there, but maybe I'll show you guys that in another video. So peace out.